wanted to appear. But here's the twist. The more you go back through Meghan's story, the harder it becomes to believe she didn't know exactly who Andrew was. And that innocent question starts to look a lot more like a performance. Before Meghan was Meghan Markle, Duchess of Sussex, she was just another aspiring actress. A British showbiz journalist remembers meeting her for drinks years before Suits made her a familiar face. His description is striking: quiet, low-key, but laser-focused on one thing: getting press coverage. She wasn't shy about it. She wanted to be known in Britain. She wanted her name in the papers. She wanted a way in. And she was already thinking strategically. She talked about her divorce, about dating struggles, even about football star Ashley Cole. But when the journalist mentioned messy divorce rumors around Ashley, Meghan's face dropped, almost as if she'd been caught playing a card she didn't want exposed. Even then, Meghan was testing doors, trying handles, seeing which one would open. The goal was always the same: access. And it didn't take long for her path to cross with circles far bigger than British football. Enter Yuan Elash, a name most people have never heard, but one that insiders whisper about. Billionaire, global traveler. A man tied closely to Prince Andrew, the one who reportedly introduced him to trips in Thailand long before Jeffrey Epstein's scandals exploded into public view. Here's where Meghan's story overlaps. Her sorority at Northwestern wasn't just about campus parties and sisterhood. Some sisters later recalled Meghan disappearing for weeks at a time, returning with wild stories about yacht trips in the Mediterranean, lavish weekends, and wealthy friends. One of those names whispered in the background: Yuan. It wasn't just coincidence. Meghan herself once admitted to traveling to Thailand in 2001, a trip that lined up suspiciously close with Andrew's own questionable visits. And years later, photos and rumors would place Meghan on yachts alongside Karina Shulock, Epstein's girlfriend at the time, and other faces tied to Andrew's circle. The picture forming isn't neat. It's messy, fragmented, and easy to dismiss if you look at each piece alone. But when you zoom out, you see Meghan quietly brushing against the very world Andrew lived in long before she ever stood in front of Harry. On paper, Meghan Markle's resume looks polished. She studied theater. She interned at the U.S. Embassy in Argentina for 5 weeks. She graduated from Northwestern, clean, professional, respectable. But here's the detail she never talks about. Right after Argentina, she enrolled in a 3-month study program in Spain. University records confirm it, the dates line up, yet Meghan herself has never once mentioned it. No photos, no fond stories, no life-changing host family post, nothing. Why? Because according to former sorority friends, those 3 months weren't about books or study abroad. They were about yachts in the Mediterranean, private villas, and travel that didn't fit the budget of an unknown student actress. She would vanish for weeks, then reappear with stories about rubbing shoulders with billionaires, royals, and jet-setters. At the time, her friends thought it was all exaggerated, too wild to be true. But years later, when names like Yuan Elash, Prince Andrew's billionaire friend, began appearing in connection to the same regions and timelines, those wild stories started sounding a little too precise. So the question becomes, what was Meghan really doing during those missing months? Fast forward to 2012. Meghan's on Suits. She's not a lead. She doesn't have top billing. At best, she's the background lawyer who gets a few lines per episode. Yet somehow she's flown business class to Hong Kong as if she were the face of the entire show. She's rubbing shoulders with high-level media personalities. She's treated like a star. And then comes the strangest detail of all. She does an interview with Diva Universal, and that interview has completely vanished, wiped from the internet. In it, Meghan casually mentioned that royalty was around, not royalty in general, not the royal family, specifically Prince Andrew. And wouldn't you know it, Andrew was confirmed to be in Hong Kong at that exact time. There's no official record of them being seen together, no headline, no press photo, but witnesses at the event claimed they were circulating in the same lounges, the same dinners, the same gatherings. It's the pattern we keep seeing: Meghan moving in elite spaces, but always leaving almost no trace, just whispers, just enough to spark questions. By 2015, Meghan Markle had carved out a strange kind of presence. She wasn't an A-list actress, she wasn't headlining red carpets, but somehow she kept showing up at the most exclusive places. Take Istanbul, the grand opening of Soho House. It was a magnet for elites, royalty, and Hollywood stars. Meghan posed for a photo with Eddie Redmayne, and the Daily Mail later ran the picture. But here's the kicker. They listed every single person in that photo, except Meghan Markle. She was literally invisible to the press. That same weekend, both Prince Charles and Harry were reportedly in Turkey. The overlap is uncanny, but what's even more telling is the man behind Soho House, billionaire Ron Burkle. The same Ron Burkle who allegedly flew Meghan privately to Jamaica for a wedding, the same Burkle with deep ties to Andrew's circles. Burkle opened doors that others couldn't, and Meghan, she walked straight through them. It wasn't just fancy parties. Meghan's presence reached into one of the darkest orbits of Andrew's life, the yachts. There's a photo, Meghan in a white Panama hat, sitting on the deck of a Mediterranean yacht, smiling alongside people whose names raise red flags today. Karina Shulak was there, Jeffrey Epstein's girlfriend at the time. Epstein himself was reportedly nearby, and according to some accounts, Prince Andrew may have joined during part of that route. It's not a tabloid shot, it's not a paparazzi frenzy. It's quiet, private, the kind of scene that only comes to light years later when people start connecting dots. And again, Meghan is right there, present but not prominent.